All right, buddy. So what's your name and where are you from?
My name's Ryan, and I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Albuquerque, New Mexico. And ladies and gentlemen, I ask a few, questions, just a couple here and there before I interview everyone. And boy, we were going down the rabbit hole just talking. This guy's got a
Mhm.
interesting story, I must say. And I believe you're the first one coming from New Mexico, man, that I've had on the show. So this
Yeah.
this will be pretty interesting. Before we get all into the penitentiary and all that, let's go ahead and talk about what sent you there, man. I mean, this shit sounds wild as hell.
All right. So, um, I did opiates for a long time. I started getting into opiates. I was smoking weed, and then this chick wanted me to sober up. She said, "Stop smoking, get into college." So when I stopped, she had a bottle of Percocets in her purse, and I didn't really know who I was at that time. I'm like 20 at this time, or 19. So I just started taking those every day because I had heard of them. And next thing like 8 years later, I'm going to prison for all kinds of crazy stuff surrounding opiates.
Yeah.
Um, so in 2012, I sold a half of a Suboxone pill. That they're worth $5 for a whole pill. There was this Asian guy that at the bus stop in Albuquerque. It was at the UNM campus area, and like somebody told me, "Hey, bro, it's this is the craziest part too." There was a dude I knew on, like, he lived on the streets, but I would see him
Uh
all the
huh.
time, and he's like, "Hey, bro, this guy just came up to me and asked me if I knew where to get anything to party, but also that he was sick." He said he was sick and he wants to party too. He's like, and it just sounded suspect. Party? What do you mean party? And I just kind of looked at him like, I don't know. And
That's
I went
damn
to the bus.
police words, man.
Man, dude,
Where's
if
the
I would have
party
listened
at,
to him,
man?
if I would have listened to him, the homeless dude, this guy lives on the street. He
Yeah,
was
yeah,
smarter than me. He seen it from a mile away.
yeah, yeah.
But I was young and stupid, and I hadn't really ever been in any trouble at this point in my life. So like I walked up to the bus stop and I see the dude there. He has full like Japanese type sleeves. And I have like the dragon and the koi fish too. Like I have 3/4 sleeves.
Oh, see, all
And
kind of vibing a
so I
little bit.
seen that similarity. Also, I've been to college. I went to college in Tucson, Arizona. So I know how the kids are. I know how opiate addicts can look, like they don't always look the part. They can look clean cut and have some money because their parents are taking care of them at that point.
Yeah.
So I didn't judge him. I kind of pushed that homeless guy's thing off. I didn't pay attention to that. And he right away he asked me, "Hey, bro," like not right away, but within 30 seconds, he's like, "You know where I can get any stuff?" Like he's like, I'm sick, dude. I need some heroin. I need some black, like. And then he's like, "And I'm trying to party, bro." He's like, "I got like $100." And I'm like, "Oh, all right then. Let me check it out." And like I started like looking down at his arms, and he's seen that, and he's like, "Yeah, yeah, I smoke it," because I'm looking for track marks on this dude. You know,
Yeah.
I've already been around this crap for a long time, so uh, I don't judge him off that either. So then I say, "Oh, I don't have my phone on me." So he gives me his phone. So I'm calling one of my connects on his phone. Like
Oh
my connect
man.
actually never got in trouble on this. So like this particular thing, but my connect didn't answer. He was passed out at my house at that time, but he didn't answer. So I was like, "Bro, I can't do nothing." I was like, "I have a half of a Suboxone." I was like, "I get my script tomorrow." I was like, "All I have is that." I was like, it could get you well if you've been off heroin for a little bit." And he's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." He's like, here's $20." And I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, nah, nah, dude, you could go buy 5 for 20 right down the street. Like, nah, a half of a pill, that's worth nothing. I'll just
Yeah.
give it to you." And he's like, "No, no, no, just take the 20." And I still didn't see that. When you look back in hindsight's 2020. But yeah.
Yeah.
And so I did have that guy in the back of my head though. So I told him, all right, I didn't hand it to him, which never helped. It didn't help. I was like, yeah, I'll put it on this wall. And I was like, and take a piece too, so that, because I don't know who you are and stuff. I want to see you take a piece. And then so he grabs it off the wall, and I walked away. Like, I went, put it on the wall, walked away. He grabs it, and he breaks a little piece off, dude, and he puts it in his mouth. And then he's like talking. He's like, fuck yeah, thanks, dude. And I'm like, yeah, no problem, don't even trip. And he's like, here, bro, just take that. And I'm like, nah. And he's like, no, you like, you deserve it. And I'm like, all right, dude. And then right when I took it, he did some little signal. 2 freaking tan SUVs pulled up in front of the Frontier restaurant. It's like right there by UNM and stuff. They jumped out. 4 guys out of each SUV jumped out, all masked up, all AR-15s, the whole 9
for a half a pill of
extreme. Like, I don't know what they thought I had, but it was extreme. I gave him a half of a pill, and it's a maintenance drug. It's not really, heroin.
Yeah.
And they just get on the ground, like crazy. Took me in. They said, do you know where we can get some heroin? Let's go over it real quick. You know where we can get some heroin? I said, nah. And they booked me. And like a week later, I got bonded out randomly. So I ended up getting probation on that. Like 5 months later. Huh?
How was your first visit to county? Was that your first visit?
Oh, bro. Yep. That was my first visit to MDC. It's called Metropolitan Detention Center in Albuquerque. It's like on the outskirts, and it's like a mega jail. Like, it can house like 3,000-4,000 inmates in the jail.
It sounds like it's a damn
it's
big
huge. It's one of the like very few like massive jails in the country. Like that really house a lot. Like there's like more little jails.
Yeah.
But anyways, when I went there, I didn't know how to act. See, I had done a little bit of time on a misdemeanor before, a petty misdemeanor. But I only did 60 days, and it was in a misdemeanor pod, and it was in a whole nother county. It was in Sandoval County, and actually you could buy cigarettes on commissary when I was there. It was sick.
Dang. Yeah, that sounds like a nice little town.
2012. This was in 2012. But when I got there,
that town's probably still smoking, I bet.
No, it actually got canceled like 2 months after I got out. They shut it down. But anyways, when I went to MDC, it's a lot bigger. I noticed the dudes are a lot scarier. And I'm a like smaller white boy at this time. And my cheeks were even more fat. So I looked like more baby face, like real young. And then I got
little cutie pie.
Yeah, and then I got the orchid flower. It's colored flower, and then I got a colored flower.
Not the colored lotus. Flower, man.
So they see that, and you know how they're gonna judge these criminals. They got neck tats and stuff. Like, I started seeing people respect people more, like off the rip, if they have a neck tat. If they walk into the Sally Port and they have a neck tattoo, they're just more respected automatically. Like, people are just like, what's up, dog? Like, what?
Yeah, they might be down. Yeah, someone said, I did a video. I hate to stop your story, but I did a video the other day. Top 10 sketchy people. And someone said in the comment section, said, anybody with a neck tattoo sketchy as hell. I said, well, damn, you know what I mean? And I thought about it for a second. And I said, that ain't entirely false,
Mm-hmm. And I really do want the whole thing done too. Like, I like tats, but I just haven't had the chance to get it done yet. But when I walked in there, I was freaking scared. Yeah. And I actually didn't know that I had a scared look on my face, I guess. When they sent me in, it's a 4th-degree felony. It's 18 months tops. They got me for attempted distribution. I forgot what it was. It was a distribution of a Schedule 3 narcotic. That's what it was.
That's so damn petty. And I didn't say nothing about it yet, but dude, they probably had a slow day in busts and was like, dude, we gotta get someone. Get this kid to pick up the freaking 20. That's like entrapment almost. You know,
I asked
people.
my lawyer, and he
Yeah,
said,
it
he's
is.
like,
It's
the money
not.
had nothing to do with it. He said you're distributing, which means that I'm giving out a Schedule 3 narcotic, money or not. I'm like, I guess distributing it. I'm handing it away. I don't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, be careful. You know, be
Yeah.
careful. You get trimmed up just like this. You know, but well, I mean, you're in county, you seeing these guys with damn neck tats, they all ganged up and stuff. What's going on, man? You
Well, when
get
I
up
walked
into
in,
you're in the
I walked
felony
in.
pod now, right?
Yeah, so they put me in. I think it was E5 back then, maybe E6, but it wasn't super high felony. Like their point system switched around since then. They used to have it completely different. Like they'd have like what was called the people said the pinta pod, but that's like slang. It's like the people that have been to prison. Like they used to have pods like that. Anybody that'd been to prison, you go to
Oh,
this pod. They used to
yeah.
have a gay pod. Anybody that's gay, you go to this pod, and like crazy stuff like that.
They don't
But
have
now
that no
that
more.
switched, huh?
They
Nah,
don't
they
have
don't
that
have
no
it
more.
like that. No, no more. It's
What
like
is it?
it's all
Intermingled?
on points now. It's all based on points. The lower your points in the county jail, the higher risk you are. So I think I have 2 points. So let me tell you. So I walk into the pod and I remember some guy saying, "Don't look scared. Don't be looking scared." He screams that out at the pod, and everybody's playing cards, and it's super loud, and people are running amok. And at this time, I didn't know, but everybody was trashed on Suboxone. I guess it was flooded in this pod. There were straight gangsters everywhere. Like when that kid said that, my face went, real quick. I didn't. I thought I was like, "Oh, am I showing? Am I showing my, my fear?" So,
Yeah, yeah.
and I walk in, and like people, that same kid, he tried to like give me some kind of like attitude or something, but not really. Nobody even tested me and stuff. And I'm like, "Bro, how could I get a phone call?" And I'm like, I didn't know how anything worked. Secure is nothing. I didn't know how the hell do I get out of this freaking place. I'm withdrawing. Now I'm
Yeah.
sick. Yeah, so I'm sick as hell too. And like I don't know, somehow my mom found out or something like that. I was like 22 at this time, I think.
Uh huh.
23. My mom found out. She posted the bond. It was only 150 bucks. It was
Mm-hmm.
1,500 cash and surety. So 150.
I mean, when you came in there, was it, New Mexico? I'm guessing, kinda. We haven't started talking about prison yet, but was it county anything like segregation or anything like white guys run with the white guys? Was it like that in that county?
No, no, like the predominant race is like they'll say Chicano, like Mexican American. That's that's they have the highest numbers of that here. You'll see a few whites, a few blacks, but very little. You might see like a top. At that time, it was 3 men per cell, even though it's supposed to be two. So you have 90 men in this. You have 96 men in this dorm. That it's only supposed to be 64. And I
Yeah.
just wake up in the morning and be like, "Bro, you guys get breakfast at 4 in the morning?" Because in Sandoval, the only time I had done before that, a little bit of time I did, Sandoval gets theirs late. They had pancakes. They say smoke break, and the CO comes and lights everybody cigs.
Damn,
It's
that's a
great.
sweet spot.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, it's like a federal holding too. So so they had cable television, all that. It was nothing. But here, it was completely different, and I wanted to go home so bad. I remember just saying, "I swear," like, and I got out like in within like probably 5 days. My mom bonded me out. She found out.
Yeah.
So then I get out on bond. My case gets nullied, which means they're just holding it off. Something's up with the evidence. The judge doesn't, something could be wrong, or they can nully it for 5 years though. They have a
Yeah.
max of 5 years.
Yep.
But they only nullied it for a few freaking months, and then they picked it back up and they said, because you got some credit card fraud charges pending in another county, which I didn't. I didn't even have that. It never came up in my life. You have to they're offering you 18 months probation. I thought that was a good deal, so I took it. But when I got on probation, I realized that like I had a problem giving them a UA. I understood that my
Ur-
freedom depended on that.
urinal what?
Yeah,
Urine
urinary analysis.
analysis.
Yeah,
I said
I
urinal.
realized you kind of realize your whole life depends on that UA. And for me, that was like such an high amount of pressure, you know. Like
Uh-huh.
I got screwed. I think my head got screwed up, like because I was on juvenile probation at 15, and it
Yeah.
was just a shock for a guy to say take a piss, and then he's just staring. I think that's where it probably started. But when I took that, I didn't. When I took the probation, I didn't realize that. So I got a freaking violation my first day of probation because I couldn't piss. Like I was terrified and I was drinking water and I needed to piss so bad and it hurt, but I did. It's actually a really hardcore mental thing. It has nothing to do with physical. It's all mental that stops that. It turns out.
What, from
Uh,
peeing?
yeah, it's all like a mental thing.
Oh,
It's
so
all
you couldn't
about
pee? You
your mental.
couldn't pee in front of the person?
Basically I would have a massive panic attack while doing it. You couldn't see that was what was going on, but I was having a severe panic attack.
Well,
Like
there's this guy,
just
man. Yeah,
yeah.
there's this guy in jail that I was cellies with, and he had a problem pissing in the cell. And I don't know what it was, a stage fright or some shit, but he couldn't piss, and like when he would piss, it'd be like a couple trickles.
Dang.
He'd be so pissed though because he couldn't piss. He would start
Dang.
punching the walls, bro, just punching them shit.
I could pee in normal public situations, but when my freedom was on the line, nope, I couldn't do it. So it really screwed me up right away. And so probation started being an extreme source of anxiety and panic immediately in my life. Within 1 month of being on probation, I had picked up 14 new charges, 11 new felonies, 3 misdemeanors, and I'm facing 86 years while already on 18 months probation. And he
Yeah.
gave me enough rope to hang myself because he let me piss dirty. Yeah, I had the refusal with 3 dirty UAs back to back to back within 2 weeks, and he didn't throw me in jail. I gave him a dirty on Thursday. He said, come back Friday, the next day. I said, okay. And I knew. I said, I ain't going back. And I never went back. And then that Sunday is when we decided to rob this drug dealer, and we didn't get nothing. And next thing you know, I'm facing 87 years, and so I could tell you that story. That's crazy too, man.
Yeah,
SWAT showed
I
up.
gotta hear it because I had a homeboy that went to prison for robbing a drug dealer as well. So
Okay,
how the
so
hell did this happen? We might not even talk about prison in this episode. I don't know, man. But go ahead. Yeah,
yeah,
we probably will. We probably will. Go ahead. Briefly tell
so
us how the hell you went to prison for robbing a drug dealer.
so now I'm on probation. I'm on the run from probation for like me. I'm not really on the run because he's letting me go, but I'm giving him dirties, and I know he's eventually gonna lock me up. So I was only on the run technically from that Friday because I told you, so it was only a couple of days. But anyways, I decided I want to start getting high because I told you I was giving him dirties while on the probation for a month. So I'm doing a ton of heroin. I'm getting high every day. I'm blowing all my rent money, my basically one of my brothers at the time. I grew up with him, and he has brothers. Like he got super mad at me for my choices that I would make while using drugs and his views on it at the time. And he's just like, bro, you never make the right choice. So he kicked me out. So now I'm just staying at my friends that only just does heroin all day, and that's their ultimate goal, is just to hustle. And there's a drug dealer that lives like 30 seconds. He lives in an actual house, the drug dealer. And he lives 30-second walk from my friends where I'm living in these apartments. This is it's called Del Norte High School in Albuquerque. It's in the Northeast Heights in a kind of nice area of town. Well, I buy heroin off this dude, and I knew him for a couple months. This kid, he's a white kid. His name is
We
Lon.
don't need no names. I'll edit it
Yeah,
out. We
okay.
don't need no names.
Yeah, I'm not gonna give him his full name and stuff, and it's already long gone and done. He
Okay.
probably never even see this. But anyways, I was buying dope off him. Well, one day he starts getting shady because I show up, and I got no money and ask for a front. Then I show up, I pay the front, I ask for another front. And then eventually I show up with no money from the first front and I ask for a second, and then I'll show up with $5 or I'll show up and I ask him for cottons because at this point I had already contracted it. I'm cured from hepatitis C now. I've been cured for 2 years, over 2 years now. But
Good. That's good.
yeah, yeah, it's just like the medications these days are actually like straight miracle drugs. They just cure you. No
Yeah.
side effects. It was actually very easy. But anyways, yeah, so yeah, that's what's going on. And so he's kind of getting fed up with me. So one day I just got angry and I'm just like, bro, let's go get whatever he has. This guy don't want to freaking like deal with us. And he's being like, who does he think he is? Like he's just a young white boy. Like, and I know I was like a young white boy at that time, but I had grown up probably different than he did. He grew
Yeah.
up more privileged. He didn't see a lot of stuff like, cause I could get along with anybody, and at this point I had already gone to jail for a few days. I thought I was harder. I don't know. So I told my friends and they're like, all right, let's go. So I bring two friends and so this is the plan. We say, hey bro, go knock on his door, try to get dope. And if he doesn't sell to you, try to rustle him up and then try to get him to fight you so that he opens that metal screen door because we can't get through that door. It opens from the outside, so we can't kick it in, So that was the plan. So we're going to chill back and it's just going to be you trying to do a deal with him. So we all go over there and knocks on the door. The guy answers. The homie's like, what's up, dude? And he gets something and then he's like, nah, I ain't got nothing. He's like, nah, come on, fool. And he's like, nah, bro, I already told you I didn't want to sell to you. You were out here already acting weird and all that. So it turns out, I'll tell you right now, one of my co-defendants had an ulterior motive. He actually already had business with this dude that he didn't know. He didn't even know this guy. He only knew him because I knew him. He went behind my back, did some crazy business with him, and like on a real expensive watch. So he actually had a whole nother reason why he wanted to kind of fight him. Because I said, we're going to, go beat him up and stuff and just take his stuff. And so, but he actually had this whole other deal going on, which I didn't find out for years. But anyways, he's like, oh, you don't want to sell to me? Well, what's up, then? What's up? And it works perfect. He's like, oh, you want to fight? All right. And he just opens the door. All of us ran in, tackled him into his house. Within seconds, he gives up. He says, all right. What do you want? And we're like, where's it at? Where's your shit, dude? Where's your dope? It says that on my discovery. He's like, they said, where's your shit? Like, so it's all like typed out by several cops say that. They asked, where is your shit? It's like that. It's stupid. Yeah. But anyways, at the time, I didn't think it was a big deal. This girl comes running out. Well, this guy's a dealer. Like, it's just a customer. She's going to bounce, I recognize the girl, but I don't think nothing of it. We let her bounce. She's just a girl, like we don't want to hurt no girls or nothing. Mm-hmm. Like, she's not part of this. So now my homie's dragging the dope dealer around. I'm running around the house looking everywhere. I can't find anything. He has nothing. He doesn't even have no dope or something, or he hid it. I don't know. But within about 3 minutes, I go outside to check to see if the coast is clear. Where did that girl go? Like, did she leave? When I go outside, I see her, and she's this is a Sunday morning at 9:30 in the morning. Everybody's off work. They're probably not even in church yet if they're going to go to church. And it's in a neighborhood with houses. And the girl's like, okay, all right, bye. And I run up to her and I say, who was that? And she goes, it was my mom. And I said, I already knew it wasn't her mom. And I said, give me your car keys. And she goes, no. And I said, I'm not here to rob you. I'm just trying to freaking get this full. And then she gives me her keys. I couldn't get her car open. I tell her, open it. And then while she screams like, don't touch me. I go crazy. And like I said, it's Sunday morning. It's freaking, man, like the neighborhood was silent. So I knew people could hear it. So I tell her, quiet. So she opens the car and I'm looking in it. I see a MacBook Pro And she goes, "Don't take my MacBook. Don't take my MacBook." And
Oh my
I'm in
god.
college. And I said, "I'm not, I told you I'm not going to steal your shit. Like, calm down." And I see some of her cigs. I'm like, I'm taking a cig. And I only took one. I light a
Ah!
cig. I'm smoking a cig. I look down the street. Two police are walking up. Only two at this time. Two police are walking up from
I'm not
all the way.
stealing nothing, but
Go
let
ahead.
me steal a
Yeah,
cig.
I'm gonna take a cig. She smoked Newports too. I was bad, dude. I can't
Dude, I'm
believe
like in
that.
a trance with your story right now, man. It's just all
Dude, the
right.
crazy things that I would do for drugs when I was younger.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
already 31, dude.
yeah, yeah.
So like I've already seen things like I can never go to that extreme ever again. You know, like
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, once you go there, you see it, you don't want to go again, man. All
But
right, so I mean,
anyways,
okay.
I look down the street and I see two cops walking up. I'm outside. I just dug in this chick's car. Well, my homies are inside the house. They're walking up very quickly. I can't like run in and warn them without being able to get away like easier myself. So I just kind of walked up to the door and like, "Hey, bro, the cops, the cops!" But I don't think they heard me. So I walked off. I walk very calmly across the street to the apartments where my homie lived. Like, um, that's where I was saying. I told you it was only 30 seconds away. One of the cops follows me. She crosses the street too. But there's an apartment building that is about to block her sight immediately. Like once I cross the street, she's not going to be able to see me for very much longer unless she walks all the way up the street, you know?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
right when I get to that blind spot, boom, I take off and I run as fast as I freaking can. And I get to the apartment. I run in. I tell my homie's girl. She's like, "What happened?" Because she's waiting to get well. She's waiting for the dope, but she doesn't want no part of helping us. And you know, we didn't want her to anyways. But I'm like, "Oh, the cops are coming." I'm like, "Just chill, chill, chill." And I'm like, she's like, "Did they get away? Did they get away?" And I was just like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, they got away." Like trying to calm her down. And she's like, "I want to go check it out." I'm like, "Do not go out there. Don't go out there." I was like, "Just chill. They'll come back. I promise." She's like, "Okay." Well, after a while, so I changed all my clothes. I threw my freaking knife. And it's funny because when she like pointed me out, never mind. So, anyways, I changed my clothes. I throw the knife. I had a few Suboxones. At this time, I'm not like, I don't know a lot about jail, but I know I ain't going sick because I still had Suboxone, you know, and I was going to be withdrawing. And I already knew what people do to get drugs in jail. So, you know, I wrapped it all up in a few fingers and I put like the Suboxone up, you know, and
Good old
I'm
suitcase.
yeah, and so I keistered this box in, and eventually she can't take it anymore. She opens the front door a few times. She opens it. Her neighbor next to her says, "There's cops everywhere. It's SWAT. They got dogs. They got the helicopter." So it ends up being the Northeast Impact Team. They thought it was a hostage situation or something. He said there's
Well,
cops
I mean, it was, wasn't it?
no, I I don't know, like not really because the guy didn't get beat up, you know, like he
But
refused
y'all,
medical. Go
y'all
ahead.
holding him against his will, though, right?
Yeah, yeah, we drug him around the
Drug
house
dealer or
a
not,
little
that's
though.
hostage situation,
Yeah,
man.
but they let him. I mean, once the cops showed up, like the cops showed up seconds after I ran off and arrested my other two co-defendants.
Yeah,
So he wasn't like he got drug around his house for 2-3 minutes
yeah,
and he wasn't really threatened. Like we didn't tie him up and it wasn't that severe. But my
yeah,
charges, when you look them up, they're extremely severe. I mean,
yeah. Damn right.
but so the neighbor says that his girlfriend starts bawling, crying, breaking down, and so it says, "I need to go see him. I need to go see him." I say, "Go ahead, go see him." And I thought she would rat on me if she went to the scene. Like they're gonna say, "Where's the dude?" You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like because they know there's a third dude, there's a girl. You know, I don't know. So She comes, and so when she leaves, I keister that Suboxone, and then she comes back, and she says they're coming here. And I'm like, how are they coming here? How do they even know where? And she's like, go to the laundry room. And I'm like, hell no, I ain't going to the laundry room. And she was like, and I'm like, why would they even be coming? And I knew probably she might have told them, I don't know. So I jump out the back window. When I jump out the back window, there's massive fences with barbed wire right here, because there's what's that store called? Goodwill. Goodwill is, it's like the back of Goodwill is in between the back window of the apartment I was at, and there's a massive thing of barbed wire. When I'm right there, when I jump out the window, there's a cop right there, and he's like, I want to, hey bro, just chill, just don't even go anywhere. And he has his 45, and he's like, bro, just stop. And I take off to the left, and I get down to the end of the apartments, and there's 2 cop cars, 4 cops, and so I take off all the way the other opposite way, and I jump over fences. You know, with the points,
Yeah.
because like the metal wrought iron.
Yeah.
I jump over a fence like that, and when I get out, I see. Oh no, I don't see cops yet. Right, like on my left, I run forward because I'm trying to get to another apartment complex. Another cop car, maybe 2, pull out, and they have AR-15s. They're like, get on the ground, and I still don't listen. And I jump the fence again, and I run actually towards the crime scene this time.
Yeah.
That's my only way out, because they're all, the other ways. And when I get there, like when I'm going that way, eventually like 3 more cop cars pulled up that way. They all come out with the ARs and like get on the ground. But I just got on my knees, got arrested, and I went to freaking jail. And at this point, I had already been to, MDC. But when I got there,
You got the Suboxone though.
Yeah, so she identifies me. We go to the substation, and I get put in a room by myself. I don't know where my other friends go at that time. I don't know if they're together or if they're separated. I think we're all separated. Eventually, a few hours go by, and I'm getting really sick, withdrawing. And this is crazy, dude. I'm in that, holding cell. I'm handcuffed to the pole, and I was like just filthy because I was on these crazy heroin binge and living bad. I didn't have no clean clothes, I don't think, and I changed into dirty clothes just to get out of that description. Because I thought if I changed clothes and then went walking out, I might get away, maybe, but no. But I'm in dirty clothes and I stink, I think, and eventually I'm locked up and they have me in there for like 2 hours. So I'm like getting sick and I want that Suboxone. So I asked them, can I use the restroom? And they're like, yeah. So they take me